Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and today we are plant shopping in Indianapolis. So I'm here for my sister's cheer competition and yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. We've just been sort of hanging out, doing the cheer thing, and then now today we had a couple hours free. So Daniel and I are just driving around looking at different plant places. So we just went into SnakeRoot, so I'm gonna insert that footage here. It was really beautiful, super cute shop, and it's actually so much bigger than it looks from the outside. And it was so cool because it had like condensation on the windows, like you just know that they're keeping up with their humidity routine. It was really cool, and they had a big garden section. I feel like plant shops don't usually put a big emphasis on like outdoor gardening, but this one definitely did. Like there was a lot of garden stuff, and actually what I got from the store was garden stuff. So I'm gonna show you when I get home what I picked up. But yeah, so far so good. And now we're making the trek a little bit further out of Indianapolis, and we're going to, hold on,
Disney World.
Not Disney World. We're gonna go to Dammann's Garden Company, which is 11 minutes away from here. So it's really not that far even still. But I got a lot of rave reviews about that one. So let's go there and see what they have. Okay, just came in from Dammann's, and that was a really cool place. I think it's so cool that these places have like so much garden stuff. I mean, this one is definitely a garden center. It's not just like a houseplant shop, but they had a really sweet room with just like a ton of different plants. Definitely a cool selection. But yeah, I think that it's just really cool that they have this little place out here. I picked up a plant from there as well, and it's a plant that I have not really seen in stores. So I guess that one would be more of a collector's plant. But in general, it was a really, really great place. And they had a lot of like bulbs and bulk soil. Bulk soil seems to be a thing that I'm seeing quite often. I don't see that in a lot of nurseries in Colombia. It's usually you have to go to like a soil company or like a rock company or something to get bulk soil. So it's really cool that they just offer it in general. And that's really cool. So now we're doing a bit of a trek like back up north. I think we're gonna go to Sullivan Hardware and Garden. That's about 20 minutes from here. Okay, so it's been a few weeks since I filmed the shopping portion of this video, but I wanted to just do a quick little haul of the things that I got and say that plant shopping in Indianapolis was so much fun, and there were a lot of places that I didn't get to go actually, so I hope that one day I have a reason to go back there. I got a lot of people telling me about nurseries that were on like the outskirts of Indianapolis, and unfortunately I didn't have time to go to those, but I would really, really love to visit in the future because those are oftentimes my favorite nurseries, like the ones that are off the beaten path a little bit and like take a little bit longer to get to. But they usually have better prices because they're obviously not in the city, and then the plants, you know, they have a lot more space for plants and usually they can grow their own stuff. So with that being said, I was very, very happy with every place that I visited. So from the first place that I visited, they had a really cool gardening section. And something that I find so cool about Indianapolis is that even in the inner like city plant shops and stuff, they still had a really big emphasis on growing food and gardening, which I don't feel like is very common. Like I've been plant shopping in a lot of different cities, and I definitely have never noticed that before about any place that I've been to. So it was cool because like the first place I went to, which I believe was SnakeRoot, they had like bulk soil for sale, and which was really, really awesome to like skip out on bags. They had like bulk soil for sale. It was just really cool to see that they had that like initiative to get people into gardening and provide things for them to garden without forcing people to like drive into the outside of the city to get those things. Even though, you know, it might be better priced outside of the city, it's still nice just to see those things within walking distance from so many people's apartments and like housing complexes. It was really cool. So the first thing I got was this garden hoe. It's like a miniature garden hoop hoe, and hoop hoes are so powerful in the garden and like landscaping in general. My like front garden bed here in my house was absolutely full of weeds and clovers, and it was a disaster because it's supposed to be a garden bed for flowers, but there was weeds all over it, and it was going to take me hours and days to weed that entire garden box because it is huge. So it's like basically the whole length of my house. So I got a hoop hoe, and I think I did it within like 2 hours at most. And so I got a miniature one to use in my garden beds because I didn't have that many weeds in my garden, but I certainly did have them. And this is just like a nice thing to like get out the weeds and then also just like stir up the soil around the top a little bit for when I plant seeds like direct. So I don't know, I just thought this would be a really helpful thing to have. And then speaking of seeds, I've already shown these seeds in another video, so I'm not going to go too far into it, but I have some glass gem corn, calendula, and kale. This is my favorite type of kale, and calendula has so many uses for the home, and it's also just very beautiful. And I think that when I was planning out my garden, I saw that it also helps with like keeping away certain pests, so that's always a good thing to have around, and I'm really excited. It looks very beautiful. And then from, I believe, Sullivan's hardware store, I picked up this Hoya, which I don't remember the name of. I have mentioned it in another video before, but I think it starts with a B, and it's very, very beautiful and cute, and I really liked it because it was already trailing. Like, I knew that I wanted to get a Hoya because Hoyas are just really great. I'm filling up the wall, the plant wall, obviously. So I wanted to get plants that I wouldn't need to water all the time, and Hoya are very drought tolerant. I wouldn't say very drought tolerant, but they are drought tolerant, and they can handle going longer between waterings. So I grabbed this guy because it just looked absolutely adorable. It had really cute sun stressing at the time as well, which it doesn't really anymore because it's not getting like direct sunlight, so that's not gonna happen anymore. But it is cool to know that it would happen if I wanted it to. Like if I wanted to put it in the sun, it would probably get that really beautiful like pink and like dark purple stressing. But yeah, I got it because it was already trailing, which is like half the battle with trailing plants, is just like getting them to start trailing, especially with Hoya. Hoya tend to be slow growers unless you're able to give them like the optimal conditions, which like in all honesty, most people are not. So they tend to be slow growers for me and a lot of other people. So yeah, I just think it looks really beautiful, and it's a perfect addition to the wall. And then from the other nursery that I went to, it starts with a W. No, Dammann. Dannon's nursery, I think it's called. They had a really cute selection too, and they had these Dischidia ovatas, which were so cute. They were actually sitting directly under a grow light, and they were on like a hanging basket thing, so the vines were like twirling up the basket. It was really cute, and since I removed it from that situation, those vines that were twining up have now like died because they're like, where is my support? So hopefully it starts to like trail, but this is definitely one of those plants that likes to climb as well. So maybe eventually I will have it climb instead of trail. I guess it just depends on like how it's growing. But anyway, it's so cute, and it is just like a bunch of plugs. When I repotted it, I noticed that, but then I remembered that they were telling me that they were skeptical about putting these out because they were still kind of underdeveloped, but they decided to put it out anyway, but just like to let people know that it is like a little bit underdeveloped. So when I repotted it, I noticed that, and then like right after I finished repotting, I was like, oh yeah, they did say something about that. So I did get a forewarning that it was a little bit underdeveloped as far as its root growth goes, but since I repotted it, it's been absolutely fine. Like I don't see anything wrong with it, and hopefully it will adjust to our new environment happily. I mean, so far so good. I mean, nothing has died. It's definitely looking very happy. So that's all I got from my little excursions in Indianapolis. I'm going to Chicago this weekend, and I'm really excited about that. I haven't been to Chicago before. And then in a couple weeks, I'm going to Springfield, and I'm going to both of these places because I'm doing book signings. So definitely make sure that you're following me on Instagram to stay up to date with my book signing locations, because I'm really trying to get into more cities that are drivable from me where I'm living now. And I just think it's a cool opportunity to meet you guys and just have plant conversations with people in person. We haven't been able to do that for so long. So yeah, I hope that you will follow me on Instagram to keep up to date with what I'm doing and where I'm going to be. If it's within driving distance from Central Missouri, I'm probably willing to try it out and go. So if you have any places that you'd like to see me go, let me know down in the comments below. I have a running list, and if your suggestion is not on the list, I will add it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you're subscribed if you're not, and hit the notification bell so that you always know when a new video has come out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!